Ichigo is orange-haired, punk, street punk-ish kind of kid with a bit of attitude. He's, what exactly do you want to know?
You guys catch on fast. Now go and apologize, or else the next time the flowers will be for you!
The thing I like about playing him is that he's got this tough guy exterior, you know, and he likes to put up a front. But inside, he cares, you know, but he doesn't always say it. In fact, he'll probably say the opposite. Yeah, I like that. I like, you know, that he has something more to him. I like that there's a little bit of mystery to him.
If you could kind of imagine a samurai version of Harry Potter, because of, you know, all of the magic and, you know, the souls and the ghost and this and that and the other thing. People who love anime love this thing in particular just because of the characters.
There's like somebody for somebody to like.
Come on over and give your hunky dad a big ol' hug!
Orihime!
And I also think the fact that it's ongoing and it's like cliffhangery, that makes people really addicted to it.
Now shout out my name! Zangetsu!
But I remember in the beginning, the names are tough, you know?
Ichigo!
Ichigo, actually that was the easiest one. Uryu.
Uryu Ishida, the last of the Quincy's!
Urahara. Urahara is a tough one. I can do them now. But in the beginning, you know, Kisuke, or just remembering the names too, is kind of complicated.
Where's to Orihime? Anybody home in there? Hey, so what do you say? Let's go home.
I play Tatsuki, and she's a wonderful high school tough chick who's a good friend of Orihime's, and she's a blast because she's always completely dumbfounded by these crazy concoctions that Orihime finds tasty.
It's a Choco Jelly Sugar Death Tart. It's eggplant cream sponge cake with green bean jelly filling and chocolate frosting. How can you eat stuff like that, Orihime? Let's hurry. I'll make us curried popcorn, Tatsuki.
Lovely.
I think I'm a little bit better than she is. I'm not mixing jelly and wasabi and string beans. I think one of my better creative inventions is like, I'll make these like edamame mashed potatoes.
And I think she's protective of her by nature, and
What the hell are you people doing?
she's also really tough and has got some real fighting skill.
It's really fun to kind of play a tough chick that's a little tomboyish and who's empowered to kind of like, you know, just be herself and let her hair hang down. She doesn't care about makeup. She doesn't care about fashion. She just wants to have fun.
Hey! Yeah, you big blob! You picked a fight with the wrong person this time! You see, we have a long-standing arrangement. Anyone who makes Orihime cry gets the snot beat out of him.
Cool.
I like Uryu because he's definitely the black sheep out of all the characters. You're never really quite sure whose side he's on. You know, he's always kind of like playing the ropes, so to speak.
I'm feeling extraordinary spiritual pressure.
And I got really wrapped up in this guy because of the arc that he has to go through. I would probably have to say, next to Kenichi Joji from Digimon Season 2, which I also did, this is probably the most complex character because he's got so many, you know, levels to him, which I love. When I got the part, I knew that it was a very big show because at all the conventions I would see the dolls or, you know, all over the place or the merchandise everywhere. So I knew it was a big show and I wanted to make sure that the fans were pleased with what I was going to give them, you know. It's a huge responsibility as an actor to make sure that you play it right.
I think we'll play the Japanese and then, yeah, and just mock it up as if it's all fresh.
At times we are out and out having the actors speaking full Japanese phrases, so that's a huge challenge. And sort of standardizing that and maintaining pronunciation and inflection has been really complicated at times.
All right, we'll get those.
When I first heard the Japanese, it's real gruff, you know? And so that's how I did my first audition. And then I was told to back it down, make him not so much of a punk, you know, make him a little lighter. That was hard, the first, the first recording session, to really try to figure out where he's going, because I had something in my mind, and the producers and the director and everybody else had a whole other, thing, And so it was to try to find this happy medium to where we'd all be happy, and the fans would also be happy with it.
It's pretty laid back, casual, comfortable. All right, we'll pick up one for you.
I knew that after a few episodes, maybe 10 episodes, once everything's fairly solid, that they would back off a little bit and let me kind of like take him, and do it, kind of guide him into this, series. And so now, like if you watch, the earlier episodes, and you watch them through to where they are now, you'll see the growth in the character, because he does change a bit as far as voice.
We had a lot of fun in the beginning because Uryu sounds like "Who are you?" So, I'd say, how do you pronounce it? And they go, Uryu. I go, who am I? Who are you? No, Uryu. Oh, Uryu. Okay,
Being such an old language and having so much history attached to it, there's so much to learn from the way words are put together. Like the fact that Ichigo means strawberry. That just came up only maybe a dozen episodes ago. We didn't even know that in some cases, and I feel like I actually can, fake some Japanese now.
Let's add a little something there. Clench teeth.
For some reason or other, I'm hired a lot now to do bad guys.
Beautiful. I'll take a safety with a little more voice. Slight stretch.
I never used to play bad guys when I first started doing anime stuff. I always got the, the real nice cute guys, and I always talked like this. And as I got older, for some reason, my voice naturally started to get deeper. And so I started getting this other stuff. But I love playing, like, evil bad guys.
That little bit of bait I used can't possibly have drawn this.
I work on this, and also for the same company, I also work on Naruto. And those two characters are really similar in terms of how they sound. So there will be times when I'm going, oh no, am I doing Uryu or am I doing Shinu, Aburame? And the only thing that I mentally can remember as far as the difference between the two of them, which makes them kind of stand apart from each other, even though they're definitely on the same field as far as voices go, is, if I ever do Shino, I always do more like of a Christian Slater type of thing, and he's more like this. And whenever I do Uryu, it's more like, what are you talking about? You talking to me? It's more like a Clint Eastwood thing, So, I definitely have fun with that. I'm waiting for the day when Uryu will be facing a bad guy and he'll say, I know what you're thinking. Did I slash you 5 times or only 6? Or something like that.
It's a good thing Orehime's not here.
Okay.
I try to focus on just being in the moment. More often than not is just being well rested, because it's about focus. I can do my job and make it decent.
You can see me.
But not really make it totally connected and really human. And I think what makes it, that little extra bump that makes it really human is like how much you're really in the moment. Like instead of saying like, oh, okay, I need to sound mad or I need to sound sad, It's not about sounding a certain way. It's actually about, like, really being that. And that just takes, like, focus and concentration and also just the fact of actively doing it, So after a long day, sometimes you can be like, oh, and it's, like, automatic. And that's what I really try not to do, is make my performance automatic. And This character in particular was kind of tricky in the sense that, like, we had to tweak her voice a lot. Oh, that needs to be faster, that second.
Yep, stretch the first and faster on the second.
Ayame! Now recite our Kotodama. Soten Kishun! Soten Kishun, I reject!
Yeah, we can line those up.
So it wasn't something that, like, when I came into work, I was just, like, immediately there, or, like, just would know off the top of the bat, like, where the voice was or where the character was, because the producers were very specific about how they wanted her to sound. And also, I think the Japanese, when I listen to the Japanese, I feel like it's a little bit more higher pitched and a little bit more innocent sounding than what they wanted her to sound like in English.
Oh, guess what? You guys,
They wanted to make sure that it's believable that she is powerful and tough.
Oh my gosh, she's changed.
You mean she's not as ditzy?
Not at all.
And they made it very clear that even though she's comedic and
Right.
kind of seemingly ditzy, she's not stupid and she's not a ditz.
episode I don't want to miss, so let's go home.
So, like, finding that balance in the beginning was really challenging.
Impossible!
And as the show goes on, you see that she actually has a lot of powers and quite a lot of ability. And she kind of has to, like, learn to believe in herself, you know, that she can do all this stuff.
Anyone who tries to hurt Tatsuki will have to answer to me!
Episode 18? That's the one where I nearly passed out, because that's a long thing of screaming, you know? And a lot of panting.
Very nice. Payback.
So there are a few times when, you know, screams and panting or running and all that lasts so long that, you know, I nearly black out at the end of it. That was the first time I was like, okay, I can't do any more dubbing, you know, that day. Because sometimes I do dubbing here, then I go somewhere else. And that day I was like, I'm done. I can't go and do a little kid's voice now, you know? All that Urahara training helped out. Now I can scream for hours.
Let's play it back.
It's not just like a fun fantasy, like silly show, you know? I think it like touched on a lot of things that were really like serious issues.
Let me go!
Hime, have you forgotten me?
Sora?
Like when you lose somebody important to you, the idea of like the importance of letting go. And in the world of Bleach, you know, the actual like physical repercussions of not being able to let go of your loved ones, you know, like I think that was a really interesting way to kind of tackle that issue. And I felt like at that point in the show, it made the show kind of have more weight, you know, in addition to all this like great story and fun stuff.
But if I showed you that my life was really happy and that you didn't need to worry about me anymore, you could pass on. I never dreamed it would make you sad and lonely. I would never want to do that to you, brother.
Orihime.
Directing Bleach is a handful. It's a complex show.
Ichigo, I heard a truck crashed into your
It's
house
been
last
complex
night, man.
keeping up with the duality in the show, how it takes place here at the high school and Karakura Town, and then it's also in the Soul Society, and there's kind of that parallel storyline that's always developing. The complexities are such that it's important to sort of treat them all equally and do them justice, and so it's really nice to be challenged by that. Also, there's a lot of action, and I love any of the high-powered, active, charged scenes where we really get to show off some of the fighting techniques.
The toughest part about recording is matching the flaps.
All right, we do need to pad that out a little bit. Let's see here.
Sometimes, you know, they have to throw another word in there to make it fit, but that word just doesn't feel right.
Very own people?
And then you have to, you know, kind of make it work or adjust it.
If you don't treat her now.
Or change it, you know.
Or soon.
Don't treat her now.
If you don't treat her soon, let's make it soon.
And then sometimes we'll record an alt.
Stop it!
Why are you doing that? How can you treat your very own people that way? If you don't treat her soon, she'll die!
But that happens quite a bit in recording. The director sometimes sees something that they don't like, or hear something that they don't like, or even as an actor, you know, like today, I was like, is that what it is, you know?
Wendy,
Yeah.
one more on that?
You want to do another?
Alt?
Whole thing?
Yeah.
You got it. It was beautiful, but we'll let him do it.
But inevitably there are changes made in the studio, and often it is because the personality of the actor themselves come up with something fantastic that just works. So we always try to record exactly what has been approved in the script, and then if we have a fresh idea, we'll offer that as an alternate, or perhaps reverse it. Take the finalized dialogue and make that an alternate take, and then bring our fresh idea to the original and
Stop it!
print that and use that as the keeper track.
My arm, it won't move!
Great. Let's move My Arm It Won't Move in another 8 left.
But yeah, it's amazing how much rewriting we do. I always feel it's like the final step in perfecting the script.
We'll play all this back.
And it really makes my job a dream because I'm working with fantastic people that, you know, keep me laughing and entertain me, and really that I admire so much. And even at this point in my career, I'm still learning so much from my counterparts.
I go to conventions and stuff, and that's something that's very popular for fans. And of course, you know, they don't know. They want to make sure it's you. They want it, and plus they want to hear the voice and stuff. But as a voice actor, it's really nerve-wracking, and it's really uncomfortable whenever they ask, "Oh, could you do the voice of so and so?" Especially since like Orihime doesn't really have like a catchphrase. It's easier if they have like a catchphrase. So you just say the catchphrase, you know. But then you have to like think of what to say.
Good job, honey. Thank you.
You have to like remember, you know, the voice and the this and the that. And
Okay, great. We'll get you scheduled for another session, I think.
I don't hang out with my friends and be like, "Hey, I want to bust out some Orihime," you know. You know what it's more like to me? It's like, be funny. Like, tell me a joke. Be funny like that. And you're like, you know.
I don't need anyone's pity, and I certainly don't want your friendship.
Eat your lunch and shut up. If I wasn't Ichigo,
Oh, I'm supposed to be grateful here?
I would like to play Uryu. Just because I think he's another cool character.
Now that was nice.
I wish I was cool enough to play like Zangetsu, but those guys are like too cool for me.
There are some things that I really like about Uryu as far as how he handles situations, because you almost never see him lose his cool, and I do all the time. You know, I have a temper, but he is just like that, like level. So you know what? Sometimes, as corny as it may sound, I'll go, you know what? Just be cool. Be cool like Uryu, you know, and see if you can try and handle that situation the same way, but just without letting out steam.
Oh, you want me to actually record? It's a fun job because it's like, I don't know, for me it's something I enjoy doing, acting, you know, and you know, creating a character. This character was created, but you know, I voice it, so I don't know, I'm rambling now. We'll have to edit that.
Hospital number 4, Byakurai!